Hello, people. Happy New Year. This is Girlfriends on Radio.
All right.
And with me, of course, is T-Spice. Why is T-Spice not starting today? It feels so awkward. Anyway, it's a new year, so yeah, new things. So Ngozi is starting the show today.
Yay! Ngozi is learning to take over and take charge. So how does it feel?
Oh my God! You know, sometimes new things can be very uncomfortable, and I can imagine some people already flunking on their New Year resolutions. I know, but then this is uncomfortable. But yeah, we're getting used to it as the year progresses. Yeah. Hello, people. We're back, and we're talking about rebooting for 2014. So basically it's all about what we're going to be rejigging for the new year.
I like that word.
Your relationships, your career, your school work. School is so full today.
I know.
As in everyone. So basically maybe your GP, that's very a good one to rejig actually.
Yeah.
Your GP, whatever it is, and basically we're talking about new things for the new year.
Yeah. We're talking about it during the week, and we said that, you know, it sounds like a cliche every year when someone says, what's your New Year resolution? And I'm like, I'm tired of hearing people say New Year resolutions and they never stick with it.
True. I think they are set up to fail. I think the very fact that, but you know, I think what's more important is that positivity of a clean slate.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fresh start. It's people just think that, but funny enough, you know, I think that sometimes we overemphasize the fact that it's a new year, and sometimes people just get crippled.
Yeah.
Things that they couldn't carry on from January, they just feel like they can't start them, and they wait until the next January or something.
And I think that, you know, once someone says they have a New Year's resolution, right, and they at one point stop to, you know, they don't follow through, then that guilt that just sets in and just tell themselves, you know what, let me just
next year.
Exactly, like whatever.
That happens a lot. But I think it's more important to know that people who have been successful at whatever we are trying to be successful at, they probably didn't start from January 1st. Seriously.
Like, where did I come from? Like January 1st, clean
True
slate.
that. As in, if you ask Bill Gates, who was it that dropped out of school? It was
so many of
as
them.
in, if you ask Steve Jobs, for instance, when did you decide to drop out of school, like, you know, start Apple and become really great and famous?
It was not January 1st.
It'll probably not be January 1st. What's important is that we use every single day to make the right decisions, you know, and follow through as much as possible. So, well, some people have already told us what they want to, you know, reboot for the year. So,
but before we even get into all of that, you know, I know he's not here, but you know, she was saying earlier on that it's easy for people to say, you know what, I want to reboot something.
Yeah.
You know, but what are the steps? You know, and I understand that people come at this with a very repentant heart, and they also really want that chance to start all over again. But do we not need to put things in place? Because what's going to make you different January 1st from December 31st if you did not put things in order? Like, are you changing your mindset? Like, what? Like, no, seriously, Ngozi.
It's almost like it's a new spirit that enters you from 1 minute past 12. It's like as if, it's a new me. And I mean, it's
like, obviously, like you said, you're set up to fail because you've not done anything
different. Really.
There's no difference in the circumstance. So why do we have New Year resolutions?
So what are those new steps, the precise things that we are doing this year to achieve those results? Someone put up some really funny DP. It was like the person had a New Year resolution from like 2009.
Okay.
And the person kept on cancelling the New Year resolution. It was the same thing. Eat more food, and it was like, no, eat less and less. Okay, the person said, okay, stop smoking. No, smoke a little less. You know, the person was just basically just reviewing and revising the targets.
The human spirit is actually very interesting. Like, we all know that we all try to improve on ourselves daily.
True.
You know, I think everybody, and that's why I find human beings very, very interesting. Even people that you would say they're bad or wicked or evil, you know, there's just this beauty about us. Like, we always want to get better. We always want to push ourselves to be better, right? But we need to understand that to get to where we're going to start with little steps.
Yes.
You know, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah,
So
we had it.
resolutions come from top.
Yes.
Come on, guys.
True. And it's almost like we don't even factor how much progress that we think we can actually make. So someone says they want to be 5 sizes less at the end of the year, like seriously?
And you haven't even
I mean, you don't even have a scale.
Yeah.
You don't even have a tape. I mean,
you don't even have a meal plan.
What exactly did you do differently between that 31st night, apart from going to church, really, that you think would help you achieve on first? I mean,
So are we saying, what are we saying now? No, are you trying to tell me, Ngozi, that resolutions don't work?
No. I think that people need to have a more pragmatic approach to resolutions. As opposed to just saying these are my resolutions for this year, how about saying these are the steps I'm going to take this year, these are the things I'm going to do differently this year. So I'm going to park my car in the second parking lot that is about 5 blocks away from the office so that I can lose 5 pounds. That sounds more like it, as opposed to saying I'm going to drop 5 sizes.
I know.
It really doesn't work like that. So, we're going to go on a musical break now, and when we're back, we'll just talk about those precise steps that we think that people can take, or you can tell us as well what steps you think you're going to take this year to actually achieve those resolutions that you have set for yourself. We'll be right back. And we're right back. You guys don't believe that was the second and we're right back. Oh God, new things can be so uncomfortable. Change is so hard sometimes.
Yep.
And who is with us? And we are going to talk for the rest of the show. I promise you, as your punishment.
I promise you I will not, because I'm enjoying like what you're doing right now. You're just a pro, like taking control. That's a new thing this year. Wow, congrats.
I know, wait, seriously, where do you get all this sass from? You come in, and then even
you're
apologize, you're psyching and putting all the adjustments.
I apologize, and I know the era in which I have to report my life this year. I need to be more punctual. Time conscious, time management.
Add that to the list.
To the list of
things that you said you want to reboot.
Oh, so you think there's a long list?
No. No, this guy's entering me. Okay, yes, I do. Talk about the things you want to reboot this year.
Oh, the things I want to reboot. The things I want to reboot. I really, this year I'm actually not like giving myself a headache about it.
Thank God.
Because I've done that so many times in the past, and the more passionate I am about changing things, the more passionately I feel. So this year I'm just going to be very realistic, and I'm going to but I'm going to make an effort. I'm going to make an effort to make sure I see some changes in areas which I'm not satisfied with.
And I think that's the pragmatic way to go, like you said, because you already realize that, there are areas I need to change, there are things that I have to deal with. I'm not just going to wake up on the 1st of January and say, this year everything's going to be different, and I'm going to be superwoman, So I think you have a realistic, idea of what the changes you want to effect and how to go about it.
But I think we need to balance it though. We shouldn't be mediocre. We shouldn't be mediocre. We shouldn't be average. It's more like, what are you going to do differently? So when you say you failed passionately or woefully, is what are the boxes that you didn't check really?
Yeah,
what are the things that you didn't do right? It's more of backing up.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like the failure comes from when you put so much pressure on yourself and you give yourself like unrealistic goals, and then when you see yourself not meeting up, you feel so depressed and you feel so you hate yourself, and then that makes it even worse at the end of the day. I know how long I've been having this ongoing battle against soft drinks, and each day I wake up and I say I'm never going to take a drop of carbonated, and then I see it as So
setting realistic goals reminds me of school actually.
Yeah.
There's some times when maybe you're on a 2-2 and maybe you're in year 2 or something and you say, my goal is to finish the first class.
No.
And
How many of us did
by
that?
the time you do the math, even if you score 5.0 for the next 4 semesters,
it's not gonna get you there.
I
wanted to ask a question, and I the reason why I decided to ask is because I know a lot of Nigerians are very religious, and for us, we feel like for us to achieve our New Year resolutions, all we need to do is pray. And so we pray and say, oh God, you know what, by your faithfulness and by your grace, I'm gonna get slimmer, and then you pray that without realizing that yes, there's power in the name of there's power in prayer, right? But if you pray and you don't walk towards getting slimmer, you're just being very foolish.
Yeah, but I really do also feel that prayer really goes a long way. But the same way you give yourself unrealistic goals, don't pray unrealistic prayers.
We always pray unrealistic prayers. Like for instance, you want to lose weight, right? And you've told yourself no more soft drinks, and so you're taking the next bottle of Coke. Oh God, help me! I'm going to lose this weight. I know. And then by the time it becomes March, you just tell yourself, January is coming. Don't worry.
Exactly.
I'll start again.
I think that's the danger with New Year resolutions, because when we get to the middle of the year, I would say that we haven't met up. We just leave. We just so I think it should be an everyday resolution. Like if you really want to get something done, like every day you just keep, let's not make it like a January thing.
Like, I think altogether we're actually being very harsh on those who actually want to lose weight. And almost everything has been about, do you want to?
I want to lose weight, though.
I tell myself that it shouldn't just be about like the societal pressure to look stylish and everything, but it should be what I used to motivate myself is my health. Because when I go and look at my BMI on the internet, they not only tell you if you're overweight, they tell you the health risk. You're also at risk of hypertension, heart disease, and when they list everything else, they're like, okay. So I really owe it to myself to try and stay fit and healthy so I can live long and achieve everything I want to achieve.
True. All of us have other things. We have career goals. We have academic
I want
goals.
to reboot my looks this year. I want to be that hot, sexy chick once again.
My sister has dreads on now. Like she's so bold. Like she just said she wants to give herself that lovely bohemian chic look, and she just locked her hair, and I'm like, goodness, Taiwo, I think you should try that.
Don't jump. Basically, just write down everything that you think and when we want to buy one perfume that we perceive or something, or want to buy that top, we go to every mile to go we find it, but sometimes we're just lazy about our resolutions. So you want to read more this year, or someone says, I want to read serious books. I don't want to be reading in the Brighton and some other meals. I want to read serious books. So what are those serious books? Where are the shops they are sold in the country? Basically nobody's just going to walk up to you and give you those serious books to read. I think it's more of taking practical steps, and just finding out what they are. And all together we've really, really said a lot, and whether we've touched the area that you want to
just one thing, talking about those practical steps, one practical thing you can also do is there's certain things that do not allow you to get your resolutions done. Like I came here today late because I was doing something that I was not supposed to do. I know I have a time management issue, and there are things that make that happen. Try and cut those things out of your life also.
True that. When we come back next week, we'll just round this up, and I definitely hope that some people will also tell us their success stories so far. Yes.
They actually say coming in on Facebook, but in case you were not able to get in on our Facebook page, it's easy to find us. We're on Girlfriends on Radio on Facebook. On Twitter, we are at Girlfriends006. Just go in there and tell us what you would like to reboot about your life in 2014, and we'll be sure to read it next week.
Yeah, and hopefully next week Saturday I'll be claiming 7 day free of 7th day free of soft drinks when I come here.
Alright people, have a lovely week.
Bye.